Did you know some of the foods you eat every single day could be quietly damaging your eyes, even speeding up vision loss after 60? And today I'm going to reveal the 3 most harmful foods for your eyesight that many seniors still eat without realizing the risks. We'll count them down one by one. And trust me, the last food on the list is the most surprising of all. If you've been struggling with blurry vision, dry eyes, or trouble driving at night, these hidden culprits may be part of the reason. The scary part is they don't just make your eyes feel uncomfortable, they actually fuel oxidative stress and inflammation that accelerate vision decline over time. But the good news is, once you know them, you can make simple swaps that protect your eyesight for years to come. So let's dive in, starting with the first everyday food that may already be sitting in your kitchen. Let's start with one of the biggest hidden enemies of your eyesight: refined sugar. I know, it's hard to imagine that something as common as a slice of cake after dinner or a glass of soda could affect your eyes. But here's the truth. Sugar doesn't just add inches to the waistline. It silently damages the tiny, fragile blood vessels inside your eyes. Those vessels are like little highways delivering oxygen and nutrients to your retina. When blood sugar spikes, those highways become weak, leaky, and clogged. Over time, this raises your risk of serious problems like diabetic retinopathy, cataracts, and even macular degeneration. Here's the science in simple terms. When you eat too much sugar, your body produces compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. Think of them like sticky little troublemakers. They attach themselves to proteins in your eyes, including the ones in your lens, and make them stiff and cloudy. That's one of the reasons cataracts form faster in people with high sugar diets. Imagine looking through a dirty, foggy window. That's what these AGEs are doing to your vision from the inside. But it's not just the lens. High sugar also causes inflammation and oxidative stress throughout your eyes. The retina, which is the part of your eye that captures images like film in a camera, is extremely sensitive to blood sugar changes. When it's constantly exposed to spikes, the cells get damaged and start to break down more quickly. That's why sugar has been linked not only to cataracts, but also to age-related macular degeneration, or AMD, which is one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't eat candy every day, so I should be fine. The tricky part is that sugar hides everywhere. Breakfast cereals, flavored yogurts, packaged bread, sauces, even so-called healthy granola bars are loaded with hidden sugar. And every little bit adds up, putting extra stress on your eyes over time. I want to share a story to bring this home. One of my patients, Ruth, a 68-year-old retired teacher, came to me complaining about eye strain and blurry vision in the evenings. She wasn't diabetic, but she had a habit of enjoying sweet desserts after dinner: cookies, pastries, or sometimes a slice of pie. We talked about how sugar might be affecting her eyes, and I asked her to try something different for just 1 month. Instead of pastries, she switched to a handful of berries or a small piece of dark chocolate. The results surprised even her. After just a few weeks, Ruth told me her eyes didn't feel as heavy in the evenings, and the blurriness seemed less noticeable. It wasn't magic. It was simply removing one of the daily irritants her eyes had been battling for years. So what's the takeaway here? Cutting out sugar doesn't mean you can never enjoy dessert again. It means being mindful. Swap out pastries or soda for something kinder to your eyes. Fresh berries, which are rich in antioxidants, or a small square of dark chocolate with 70% cocoa or more can satisfy your sweet tooth without flooding your body with harmful sugars. Not only do these alternatives taste good, they actually deliver nutrients that support eye health instead of harming it. Remember, every choice adds up. By reducing refined sugar, you're not just protecting your waistline or your heart. You're giving your eyes the chance to stay clearer and sharper for longer. It's one of the simplest changes you can make, and it pays off every single day you open your eyes and see the world more clearly. And here's the exciting part. Sugar is only the beginning. The next food we'll cover might surprise you even more because it's not sweet at all. In fact, it's something millions of people eat as comfort food every week, without realizing it's quietly fueling inflammation in their eyes. Let's take a closer look. If sugar quietly sneaks up on your eyes, fried and processed foods attack them in a much louder way. Think about those golden French fries, crispy fried chicken, or the salty packaged snacks that are easy to grab when you're hungry. They may taste comforting in the moment, but what they're doing to your eyes behind the scenes is anything but comforting. These foods are loaded with unhealthy fats, especially trans fats and cheap refined oils, and those fats fuel inflammation throughout the body, including in your eyes. Here's why that matters. Your eyes are built with delicate cells that thrive on healthy fats, especially omega-3s, which keep the retina sharp and the tear film stable. But when your diet is heavy in fried foods or snacks made with hydrogenated oils, those unhealthy fats compete with omega-3s. They block the good fats from getting where they need to go. Over time, that imbalance weakens the protective oil layer of your tears, leaving your eyes dry, irritated, and red. Worse, it accelerates damage inside the retina, raising the risk of macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. The science is clear. Studies have shown that people who eat diets high in trans fats are significantly more likely to suffer from dry eyes and macular degeneration. Researchers believe it's because these fats increase inflammation, clog tiny blood vessels, and reduce the eye's ability to absorb protective nutrients. In simple terms, every time you reach for fried fast food or processed snacks, you're not just feeding your body empty calories. You're starving your eyes of the nutrition they need to stay clear and comfortable. Let me share a real story. One of my patients, Carl, a 71-year-old who loved potato chips and fried snacks, came to me complaining of eyes that always felt dry and gritty. He told me he used artificial tears constantly, but the relief never lasted. When we looked at his diet, it was easy to spot the problem: fried foods almost every day, plus packaged snacks in the evening. I encouraged him to make one small swap: trade his chips for a handful of almonds or walnuts, and replace fried dinners with baked or air-fried versions. At first, he wasn't sure it would make a difference, but within a month, Carl noticed something remarkable. His eyes felt less dry, and he didn't need drops nearly as often. He even said he could watch TV longer without rubbing his eyes in discomfort. It wasn't a miracle. It was simply removing the constant inflammation his diet had been causing. So what can you do? You don't have to give up all your favorite foods, but try to be mindful of how often fried or packaged snacks show up in your day. Replace French fries with baked potato wedges, or use an air fryer to get that crispy texture without the unhealthy oils. Instead of chips, try a small bowl of mixed nuts, which actually nourish your eyes with healthy fats. And when cooking, choose olive oil or avocado oil instead of vegetable shortening or margarine. Small swaps like these not only protect your eyes, they also benefit your heart and overall health. The bottom line is this: fried and processed foods may be easy, quick, and tasty, but they rob your eyes of the healthy fats they need to stay sharp and comfortable. By cutting back and making better choices, you give your eyes the chance to stay clearer for longer. Now, we've covered sugar and fried foods, two culprits most people expect to be on this list. But the next food might catch you off guard, because it's not sweet or greasy at all. In fact, it's something sitting in almost every kitchen cupboard, and it may be silently straining your eyes in ways you never realized. Let's take a look. Now let's talk about the third food on our list, and this one might surprise you: processed meats. I'm talking about bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, and those quick fix options many of us grew up loving. They may be tasty and convenient, but what they're doing to your eyes is far less enjoyable. Processed meats are loaded with nitrates and sodium, and while those compounds help preserve flavor and shelf life, they come at a heavy cost to your circulation and your vision. Here's the problem: sodium from processed meats raises blood pressure, which doesn't just affect your heart. It also puts strain on the tiny blood vessels inside your eyes. These blood vessels are like lifelines, carrying oxygen and nutrients to the retina, the part of your eye that lets you see fine detail. When blood pressure is constantly elevated, those lifelines weaken. The result is poorer circulation, less oxygen reaching the retina, and over time, more damage to your vision. Nitrates add another layer of trouble. While they're used to preserve meats, once inside the body they can create oxidative stress, which accelerates wear and tear on sensitive eye tissues. The science backs this up. Several studies have linked high consumption of processed meats with increased risk of glaucoma and retinal degeneration. Glaucoma, often called the silent thief of sight, is strongly tied to circulation issues and pressure within the eye. When your blood vessels are constantly under strain from excess sodium and nitrates, the risk goes up significantly. Likewise, poor circulation to the retina makes it harder for those delicate light-sensing cells to survive, which may contribute to vision loss over time. Put simply, every bite of processed meat chips away at the healthy blood flow your eyes depend on. Let me share a story. One of my patients, Eleanor, a 70-year-old who enjoyed bacon with breakfast almost every morning, came to me complaining of heavy, tired eyes. She said her vision seemed dimmer, and reading in the afternoon felt harder than before. When we reviewed her diet, the pattern was clear: processed meats several times a week, plus salty deli slices for lunch. I encouraged her to make a small but meaningful change. Instead of bacon and sausage, I asked her to try grilled chicken or salmon a few mornings a week. At first, she wasn't convinced, but within 6 weeks, she noticed something unexpected. The heaviness in her eyes began to ease, and she felt more comfortable reading in the afternoons. She even joked that her family missed the smell of bacon, but they were happy to see her feeling better. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy these foods again, but it does mean being mindful of how often they appear on your plate. Try swapping out processed meats for healthier proteins. Fish, especially salmon or sardines, delivers omega-3s that directly nourish your retina. Lean chicken or turkey provides protein without the added sodium and nitrates. Plant-based proteins like beans, lentils, or tofu can also support your body without putting extra strain on your circulation. Every swap you make is a step toward protecting the delicate blood vessels in your eyes. So here's the bottom line. Processed meats are convenient and familiar, but they silently strain the very circulation your eyes depend on. By choosing cleaner, leaner sources of protein, you're not only supporting your heart and blood pressure, but you're giving your eyes the steady oxygen and nutrients they need to stay clear and strong. We've now uncovered the 3 foods that quietly damage vision after 60: sugar, fried foods, and processed meats. But here's the hopeful part. With awareness and small daily changes, you can protect your eyesight and even improve how your eyes feel. Next, let's bring it all together into a simple plan you can follow starting tonight. The fact that you're here shows you care about your vision, and that choice already sets you apart. Too many people believe it's too late to protect their eyes, but that's a myth. Your eyes can still heal, still strengthen, and still reward you for the care you give them. Imagine enjoying a night drive without the blinding glare, reading bedtime stories to your grandchildren with ease, or looking into the faces of loved ones with clarity. Start tonight by cutting back on just one of these foods, share your journey in the comments, and subscribe for more natural eye health tips.